Let's go. Hello, and welcome. This is Her Talk Show. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. We are live today. So if you're listening to us live right now, make sure you jump in the comments, say hello. We'd love to interact with you, chat with you. Emily and I are here today with two individuals that attended our retreat last year in Georgia. And we're going to be diving into, it's been a full year. We're going to be diving into where the ladies are now, where they were when they started, and talk about all the goodness that happened during the retreat. If you are an individual that's looking to attend a women's business retreat, obviously we would love it if you came to ours, but just in general, right? What can you expect when you go to these things? What is the outcome that you can expect when you come to these things? So we're super excited to dive in and let you ladies know how this went. All right. Thank you for those of you that are listening live. We see you. Make sure you jump in the comments, say hello. If you are listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at so we can send you some love in the comments. I'd love for us to go round room right fast and just kind of explain who we are and what we do. So that everyone listening can get a really good idea of what you do in your business currently. And then we'll kind of just organically roll from there. Let's start with Tracy.
Hey. Oh my goodness. So excited to be here. Woohoo. My name is Tracy Lee. I am the founder of She Leads and the creator of the Founders Room. And very simply, I help women know themselves better so they can build better businesses that light them up.
Love that. Love that. Made some serious shifts. So excited for everything. So excited to dive into that with you. Kristen, who you are, what you do.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm with Another Chance Resale, and I offer women affordable secondhand designer purses so you're able to save money off retail prices while limiting waste to landfills. And I also offer consignment services.
Let's go. Emily, who you are, what you do.
I'm Emily Tassoni. I'm an Instagram and business growth coach. So I teach you how to use Instagram as the top of your funnel and how to create an ecosystem that brings in repeat paying clients.
Absolutely. We just, we had our Monday mastermind this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and Emily was in a room with a newbie member, Glennis. Glennis got back into the room. She was like, oh my God, Emily shared so much information. So great. Every time people talk to Emily, they're just like, oh my God. Oh, I love it. So
yes.
I'm Sabrina Victoria. As you know, I run a community called Her Nation Global. The mission is to get women business owners seen and heard so that they can get fucking paid. So that's what I do. So, yeah, Emily, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. So we know that when you're thinking about a retreat, there's lots of things that can kind of come up or questions you need answered as to whether or not you'd make this investment. So we want to start by so Tracy, let's start with you. And then Kristen, we want you to tell us a little bit about where you were in your business when you came to the retreat. So like before we even took the step into the first training, like where were you in your business that brought you to the space to be at the retreat with us? So Tracy, take it away, dive in with us.
I had the vision. I had the desire. I didn't have the structure. I had offers that were scattered, that weren't clean in terms of flow.
Yeah.
I didn't have the confidence in what I could see a sales system would look like. And I hadn't had the right conversations. So that's where I was sitting where I am now.
That was great. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I think, okay, before we let Kristen answer, I think what you just talked about is so important in all the ways because you know how powerful what you have to offer is. And
Right.
when we know what we have is powerful, but the thing that's holding us up is the business structure, because that's not necessarily where our area of expertise lies, we make it be about us as like, oh my God, I'm not worthy of this, when really it's just you need the structure, the foundation, so that you can offer the brilliance that you have. And yeah, so
Can I just add to that for a second?
of course.
I think what's really important is don't be hard on yourself for not knowing,
Yep.
but be responsible enough to find a solution.
Ooh,
Yes.
yes,
I like that.
yes. Oh, we're gonna notate that one. What do I have to process?
That was a quotable quote. Tracy Lee quotable quote.
There we go.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so now, Kristen, tell us about you. I mean, I know the answer, but tell us.
So yes to both of you. What both of you said applied to me, and it was basically just the basic, like primitive level I was at in my business. I guess I could say, like it was just me. I'm just doing what I knew. I'm working out of notebooks. You know what I mean? I have no like professional tools on the computer. None of that. So I knew that there was a way, and there's things that can be done and ways to further my learning, my knowledge, all of that. And I needed to figure it out. And that's what the retreat allowed me to do.
Yes. And I want to add for context about Kristen, because one of the things she told us when we got feedback after the retreat was that she was already making good money in her business.
Yes.
So like, I think this is a really important part, that you might be thinking, I don't need it. I make good money. And are you always like chasing your ass, trying to figure out what's the next thing? How can I automate this? I don't know how. I'm making good money, but I never feel relaxed. It always feels stressful. I always feel overwhelmed, because maybe the systems and structures or the scalable growth pieces just they're not there yet, because like Tracy said, don't beat yourself up about it, but you just don't know how to do that.
Yep. Exactly.
And can I share something?
Yeah.
I have expanded without structure, and it took me down because it wasn't sustainable.
Yes.
And it actually compromised my sovereignty as a woman.
Mm.
So the structures and the systems that I now have the confidence to keep going and increasing and bringing in, huge part of what I experienced at your retreat is now allowing me to not just hear about those women saying, oh my God, you can build a business and have a life. Well, it's actually possible, but it is an identity shift and it's a choice.
Yeah.
And it's getting into the rooms with people that can help you get there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Getting
As
into
far as well, I feel like maybe we should talk about what happened during the retreat first before we talk about what pivots were made after. Right? So like you show up at the retreat. How was it?
Well, first, can I say something that happened before the retreat that I thought was really important?
Yeah.
So at the airport, because like we were all part of the Facebook group, right? So we can kind of get all our information together, whatever. We all met up at the airport before we actually, because we had some time before the car picked us up. So we actually all met at the airport and had a little talk. Like we met, we shook each other's hands, we hugged, and we kind of just introduced ourselves. And then when we got into the car, and I think Tracy, you might have initiated this, we talked about ourselves, our business. It was a little over an hour in the car and we were talking the whole time. Like it was not weird. It was not awkward. And I'm super social introvert. Like you got to pull me out to talk, and it was just so easy. Like these women, I think we're all kind of in the same place, in the same headspace. And it was just great because by the time we got to the house, we almost had like a little, hang out first. So like I don't know, it was really cool. And I think it was super important.
I'll add to that even before the airport and the meeting in the car, because I met you and you guys all in the car, and you obviously attracted very similar people. We were all different, but there was an essence about all of us that was a through line, I think, between us all. But for me, one of the biggest reasons, and maybe this is jumping the gun a little bit, if maybe there's a question later, but I'm going to share it because I feel it's here now, is yes, I would think I was the only Canadian. So, it's getting on a plane and flying, blah, blah, blah. But what was a really big turning point for me in my decision making, even though I really knew Emily very well and Sabrina was new in my world, is you offering a private conversation with both of you to get a download of me, for us to start to build that connection even before we met physically at the actual retreat. Because Emily, I had never met you. I mean, we obviously talked, but that was for me such a powerful move for both of you and for me as a woman who was saying yes. That was definitely the tipping point for me. And then the experience of the conversation made it an easy yes. So I would say like that, just you offering that just was really powerful and very appreciative. And
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I so appreciate you bringing this up. I want to speak to that. So if you're watching and you're like, when you sign up for the retreat, one of the things that Sabrina and I built in was that you get a 2-on-1 call with both of us so that we can better understand your business, because we can create a curriculum and have all this information to teach you. But if it doesn't really apply to your business, then it doesn't matter. Now, that being said, we knew we would have we would have different women there with different struggles, different hurdles in their business. But we took that information and we're doing that still this year. Because Tracy's not the only one. Pretty much everyone said this was one of the best parts of the retreat, honestly, because then we got to go back into the curriculum and say, where can we add parts and pieces in here that really address the issues that we heard directly from the women that are actually going to be in the room, in the space with us, so that you leave with more than just hypotheticals. You leave with actual guidance on what to do with your business and your hurdles specifically. So I really appreciate you mentioning that, Tracy. Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah.
So it was fun when we got there. It was so fun. And the attention to detail of everything from the minute we walked in the door was absolutely beautiful. The place was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The thoughts, the thoughtful gifts, every single detail, from the best snacks to the ambiance, to the energy, to you guys greeting us, and just being real humans that you are. It was really, really special. I think everyone felt pretty immediately calm, safe, and like they belonged there. They were supposed to be there.
Calm and safe. Also, just for everyone's knowledge, I have Chihuahua energy at the beginning. Very excitable human. But in a calming, welcoming way.
Yes. But that's okay, because that helps. That helps someone like me who's a little nervous or a little, who are these people? And you're welcome. And I'm okay, yes, hug. It made me feel better anyway.
Oh, I love that. All of it.
I love it.
Okay, so you were at these different places prior to the retreat. You show up. I want to know, how did it feel and Kristen, you kind of already spoke to this, both of you did, but how did it feel to be in a room with other business owners? How did that help to influence your mindset and what you were receiving while we were there, to actually be in a physical space, not just with Sabrina and I, but with other women owning and running and trying to figure out how to do this thing we call business?
Well, everyone's was at their own level, at their own point in their business, which I thought was cool, because everyone had advice to give at some point, like no matter what it was. And everyone was so open with each other and helpful. And there was not one like dirty look or like, made something that was made fun of, or like everyone was so supportive. I mean, we were all crying with each other like the first
day.
First hour.
Yeah.
So it made me feel like so much better to know that like all these women, even though we're at different points in our business, we're all at the same time right here, right now. And I thought that was really cool, and plus everyone was always so helpful, no matter what. We always had something to help each other with, and that the arm over your shoulder. And it was just really great.
Yeah. One of the things that's coming up for me right now is one of the, I don't want to say a hurdle, but something that women seem to be nervous about is, I don't know if I need to learn all the things that are being taught at the retreat, right? They're gravitating more towards me, or they're gravitating more towards Emily. They're like, I don't really know if I need Sabrina's teaching, or I don't really know if I need Emily's teaching. What are your thoughts as far as whether or not you used all of the information? Was it still beneficial?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
So first of all, in my personal experience, not just with your retreat, with other experiences, is sometimes we go into something very linear thinking and we think this is what I'm going to get out of it. Right. And so we apply our, was that good or not? If we got that out of, if we got what we thought we should get out of it. Yeah. I have learned the more open you go into anything, the more, first of all, you will receive, the more you will experience, the more expansiveness, energy is there waiting for you to give and to receive. So take that for whatever it means to you personally. So what that means to me is, if you're going into anything, even a conversation with any kind of limitation, you're limiting yourself. One thing I have learned, and I've had to really work hard on this, I still want to have a beginner's mindset every day. Yeah. And I think the most successful people that we probably all have are people we admire. They go in with the beginner's mindset in everything that they do. The most successful people listen more and talk less. So if you think you have it all figured out, then you're probably exactly where you want to be in your business and your life right now. And good for you, check the box. But if you're not, and also trusting that the two of you have come together for a reason, that there's a connection there, and the two of you complement each other in the most beautiful ways, from what you're sharing in terms of your wisdom, to your energy, to your love for what you do, for the differences you want to make. So that alone is an experience. And if you go into it just going, I'm here for the experience, I'm not attached to a specific outcome, you will come out of there a different person, regardless of what boxes you checked off. Okay. So that would be my answer to that.
And seeing the two of them and being around them in person is next level. It's magical, because on screen they have the connection, but in person it's insane. But also I want to also speak to a point that I noticed when I was there, because I am a product-based business, and everybody else at the retreat was a service-based business. So I'm thinking, okay, are things not going to be about me? Are they not going to fit into what I need? But I remember one training that Sabrina did specifically, it was mostly about service-based, but after she was done, she came and sat right next to me and told me how I could put it into my business being product-based, and kind of explained it and showed me how to make it fit my business. And that was fucking cool. That made me feel included, not left out. I was part of the group, and it was awesome.
Yeah. I think I want to add to all the things here, that this is the beauty of having a more intimate retreat. Sabrina and I had talked about, do we scale this? Do we invite more women? Other people are doing that. It's the opportunity to make more money. And we intentionally chose, no, we want to keep it small, because we want to be able to do those pre-retreat calls with each of you, so we can incorporate into the curriculum, the things that are specific to you. And the other piece is at the actual retreat, we can do the things like what Kristen just mentioned. Like at one point I sat down with Tracy, just she and I, and we like looked back through her ChatGPT history and this stuff and what she was doing here, and worked specifically one-on-one with, here are some tweaks you can make here. And like to actually physically have the time and space with one another, like Sabrina with us, but also with the other women there. Just, you know, I already said, like, you're going to learn from the other women, because it's not like you're showing up as an attendee with no success and no understanding of business. You have things to share as well. So you will share, the other woman will share, we will teach, you will learn, we learned. Oh my God, Sabrina and I learned so much
from each other. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from each other, from all of you, like actually being in a physical space to learn from. They're just things that happen inside conversations and in those one-on-one working with each other. Like that is an integrity piece for us when we continue to host these retreats, is making sure that is built in, so that just like Tracy said, you might come with an idea of, these are the boxes I want to check and the things I want to learn, but you're going to walk away with so much more, because we will be able to see things you might not have thought of that we wouldn't otherwise be able to see if we weren't in a physical space with you.
Yeah.
And you are going to, you don't know what you're going to experience. You think you know.
Yeah.
You don't, because you haven't been with these women before. And so the conversations are going to be conversations you've never had.
Yeah.
And you don't know where they could lead to.
Yeah.
And I think there's a level of trust when you buy a ticket and you go and get on a plane and you go somewhere with complete, I mean, I didn't know anybody. I mean, I met you, Emily, that was it. And that alone changes you.
Yeah.
And then when you go and you spend a few days in an intimate setting with women where you actually can have dinner and then go and chat with someone for an hour afterwards quietly by this gorgeous waterfront. I mean, that's intentional space that you probably don't very often give yourself.
Yeah.
And that to me is where we get to start standing as founders in our business, as women leading.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's so important on so many levels. And to be led by the two of you, who I had one-on-one powerful conversations with both of you, because you both got to know me, and you're both very real, raw, like approachable. There was no fluff and bullshit. You got right to the point. We dealt with things. We spoke about things that mattered, because if we don't do that and fill the air with stuff that doesn't, we leave feeling maybe a little empty, maybe a little more confused. And confusion isn't a bad thing to me. I felt actually more confused afterwards, but I needed to process.
Yeah.
And you guys supported us with that as well. So yeah, it was being in community in an intimate setting that is beautiful, that is curated, that is led by two women who really care what they're doing, that have attracted like-minded women. Yes, there's a trust to that, to say yes to that, but you will never lose. You will always gain from those experiences. So,
yeah, absolutely. What would you say are some of the decisions that you have made after the retreat that have impacted your business growth?
You asking me? Or
yeah, both of you. So you left the retreat, and it's been a year, right? There's been some huge pivots in both of your businesses. What would you say? Can you tell us about those growth, those pivots that you've made?
Kristen, do you want to go and then I'll go after?
Yeah, sure. The two biggest things that come to mind is that I finally have a program to hold all of my customers. I have a CRM. It's still very basic, because I'm very basic when it comes to technology, but it works for me, and that's all that matters. So before, I was just working out of really nothing, just having my PayPal with the person's name and address, but now I can note things. I can set up reminders for things. I'm putting in like my consignment contracts with what they are sending, the payments I'm sending. So now everything is notated in case I have to go back to it. And also I have a website. So I've never had a website before, and I sell my items on my website. And that alone has brought in an extra $1,000 a month. And it's been consistent. I think there was only 1 month since I had the website that it was like maybe 800, but a consistent extra $1,000 a month where people are seeing stuff that like new people are seeing my stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's freaking awesome. Yeah, I remember when she said she was going to do that, we were like, let's fucking go. You're like, how are you going to do it? She's like, I don't know, but we're going to do it.
We figured it out, and that's what counts.
Absolutely you did. Absolutely you did. Yeah, I remember we were setting up even goals for like you transferring everything over and like how quickly you could do it, and setting a time and a date, and you're like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to do it. And you did it. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you did it. It was great. I love that. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For me, I mean, big things from the perspective of what I created just a little more than 30 days after the retreat. And I started my She Leads community, which is the pulse of what's been built on top of that and around it. I have a beautiful, clean, clear, intentional, purposeful ecosystem fully built now for women to ascend through. Yeah. And my community is at the pulse of that. And so there's so much clarity that has allowed me to elevate my inner authority, trust myself more, lean in ways I never was before. The things that I thought I might do, I'm now in the process of doing. Like I'm running an incredible retreat in June at a gorgeous space up north of where I live in Ontario. I'm running brunches now, powerful brunches that are curated with speakers and all kinds of experiences. I've changed how I speak and connect and bring women into my circle here in my community. That energy alone actually offered me a position to support York University initiative here in my community. Like so many things have happened. And, is it all from that retreat? It's not about that. It's about the shifts I experienced internally to take action. And I mean, Sabrina is a crazy fucking action taker. Like, oh my God. And, I got to know you and your story, and just, you're an incredibly powerful woman who just, that's just how you're built. And that's your superpower. And I love it and I appreciate it. And, I've doubled my prices. I've done things that I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think that was who I was. It's always who I was. I just had to finally allow her to slowly come out. And so major shifts for me internally, externally in my business. And I've never loved what I do more, love myself more. And it's fucking go time. Like this is a year that is like, I got big plans, not from proving and pushing, from absolute certainty. Like this is what I'm here to do. Yeah. And I know that I can't do that without help. Like this is a big one for me. Help is absolutely a non-negotiable. And that's wearing my queen. That's my crown. Like is this help, support. We're all here and we need it.
Yeah, I love what you're saying here, Tracy. This reminds me of a post that Emily just put up a couple of days ago, or maybe even yesterday, where she was basically saying like, you have to fully invest in your business to invest in your business. What are your thoughts, ladies, as far as the payment, right? You're dropping money on yourself, on your business. Where did you have to be mentally as far as all in order to do that? Are you 100% all in when you do this? Were you at 70% all in your business when you did this? How important is it to be fully committed to your brand when you're investing?
I would have to say, of course I had fear, but I had to be all in. I had to change that fear into excitement, into knowing that there's going to be a bigger future for my business. So you make it work. You put the money together, whatever it has to get done. And that's what the retreat helped me do a lot of, is pushing through the fear, changing that into excitement for my business. especially me having like such an introvert like personality, I've also started doing in-person events, and I'm doing vendor fairs, and I want to do pop-ups like in clothing boutiques and stuff like that. And I have to push through that fear of the social anxiety I have and to turn it into excitement about my business and showing my items to women and making that shift within myself. And that the retreat helped me do that.
Dude, I freaking love that. This reminds me when I went to go visit Emily in Montana, she took me to the cutest freaking thrift store. Oh my God. Or not even a thrift store. It was like a
it was like a vintage thrift store kind of.
Yeah, but she explained like when we left, I was like, dude, oh, that was so interesting. Everything was so cute. And I was kind of like, it was weird because like there was coats here, but then there was also coats over there, and there was purses here. And then she was like, yeah, the reason it's like that is because there's a few women that have gone in on it.
Yeah.
And they all had like a certain section of the store. And the really cool thing about it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but she said each woman runs the store for a day or something like that, right?
Yep.
So a handful of women went in and they're selling their vintage items in a certain area of the store, and they've gone in on it together. So the what we have to remember, ladies, is there's so many ways to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Like, what are you looking to do? Get freaking creative. When she told me that, I'm like, dude, that is so freaking smart.
Yeah.
It is.
Fun. And the store was so fun. It was so cool. There were so many just unique things in there. And you know very well that people walk in there and they're happy. They love looking at this stuff. And all of them get to indulge in that together as a team.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't always have to be all by yourself. I love that, Kristen. I love that you're thinking about doing that and getting into something like that with other vendors. That's cool.
Yes.
You know, what you just shared, Sabrina, around getting creative. I mean, there's infinite ideas to do anything.
Yes.
But you can't figure those out by sitting behind your computer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried.
Same.
It doesn't happen. And it's like you feel like, what the F is wrong with me? I can't. So, and then all of a sudden one conversation, like it's not a cliche, can literally change your life.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So get out and have conversations. And the more you stretch yourself, the more you're going to be given back. Like there's universal laws around that. So, what was the question again?
I don't remember. What was it, Emily? I asked it, but I don't remember.
I know, I'm so into the answer. I don't remember
It's
exactly
good,
how you
it's
worded it, but
good.
essentially like when you're sitting there with the price point.
Oh, the price.
Oh,
point.
yeah. Thank you.
Right. Investing. I mean, to me, like if you want to be in business, you have to just there you go, get creative. You have to invest. You can't like that. I always say if you know, I say to even clients, if they're like worried about the money, I said, well, what's the cost of not doing it? But then in addition to that, do you want it? Do you want? Yeah. Well, then now you get to be the responsible person that's going to create the reason why you get to.
Yeah.
And you don't have to know what that is exactly, but there's a way to do anything and everything, you know, around a payment plan or borrowing money from someone. The minute you actually make the investment, things start to change already.
Absolutely.
Like you've fully been like, and you don't, it's the stuff you don't see that's actually the coolest shit that's going on. Once it actually happened, it's like, okay, well, what's next?
Yeah.
Right. But it's the stuff that's happening on the journey that you don't know about. And I know a lot of people are like, whatever, that's woo-woo. Well, you live in your land of boring, and I'm going to live in my land of make shit happen. And it's way more fun.
Yeah.
And then getting to do the things. So find a way, ask questions. Like you don't have to even figure it out on your own. I mean, you two are approachable. It's like, I really want to go on this retreat, but money's a little bit tight. I wonder how I could make that work. Just being open to receiving support on that conversation can be a game changer. Right.
Absolutely.
So, and I know when you're new, or if you're, you know, maybe you've had a tough year and you're wanting to bring yourself back and you know, you need support and you're acknowledging that now. Don't stop at, I don't have it. Like you are literally like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and go, I'm telling myself right now that I can't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or is it that you won't? If you say, I won't find a way, that's a pretty tough thing to tell yourself. So
yeah,
I think there's a way to do anything. And I really, truly mean that now. And because I feel that way, new conversations are opening up. So yeah, And if you want to be in business for yourself, if you want to start a business, you have to know that you have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
You are, whether you have digital products, whatever, you're still the ideation person. Like it's coming from you. You're the heartbeat. And yeah.
Yeah, I wanna like dive into what Tracy, you kind of just said it again, but you had mentioned it a little bit ago also, that I think a lot of times we look at investments we've already made in our business. Oh, I hired a coach and it wasn't what I thought, but I already hired a coach, or I bought this course or that course. I think we have to remind ourselves that as business owners, we have to continually invest in coaching, in growing, in courses. You know, I always like to do the reference, like as an athletic trainer, when I was like working as an athletic trainer, it's not like I went to school and got my board certification and then that was it. I like knew what I was doing. I had to accrue CEUs, right? Continuing education units, every year. You have to go and continue to learn because things change. There's new knowledge, there's new research, there's new information. You go and learn about something you already know from somebody different and you hear it differently, you experience it differently. So I also want to remind you that we're like offering you this investment. Sabrina and I, just like I know Kristen and Tracy, we are all investing all the time in our own growth in our business. We have coaches, we're a part of programs, we're learning continuously, because that's what it means. Just like, again, I think Tracy said it. I'm not sure who said it, but like, you always have to have the mindset of I'm a beginner, because you can always learn more. You can always learn it from a different perspective. You have to be open-minded enough and curious enough to learn what you don't already know, and to know that you don't know it all, so that you can be open to the opportunities that present themselves, so that you can step into them.
Yep.
We know it's an investment to come to a retreat. It's not just your money, it's your time, it's your energy, right? Like Kristen and Tracy said, Tracy had never met any of us in person. I think Kristen came with her cousin Steph, so they knew each other. And Sabrina and I had met in person one time, like 3 or 4 months before. But otherwise, none of us knew each other. And literally within an hour of the first training, like literally in the first training, literally the ladies were sharing some of the most intimate details about who they were as people. We're all like crying. And maybe you're listening and you're like, oh my God, that is not my bag. Listen, trust me when I say you might.
You're crying in the most professional way.
It didn't feel awkward. It was just like, it was, well, I mean, there's no way to like fully describe what that feeling was, other than to say, if you invest, then you tell yourself you're going to fully be there for the full experience, and you show up with whatever there is for you to absorb.
Yeah. Can I share something? I think what really helps too is purpose. You want to be clear. Like, it's not up to you guys to be clear on my purpose.
Yeah.
But when you have a clear purpose and you understand yourself, you understand what you're building, you understand your business, you have a clear understanding of like where this fits. Because I think a lot of women don't, and then they're kind of wondering, is this right or is this not? And you two won't say, yeah, come if it's not. I know that about you. You have so much integrity. So I think that's really important, but that's also up to you. And if you want to be a successful business owner, you want to figure out what are the things that I know are important right now to move the needle in my business. And I mean, just the experience alone will move the needle in ways that you don't know, but having understanding. I mean, I need sales, and I need marketing, and I need visibility. Like, those are things that you have to have. So if you have any gray area there, you want to be supported by the two of you, right? So I really think it's understanding and taking, instead of just saying, oh no, I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or step out of that conversation with yourself and go, okay, I'm going to look at this from a different perspective. I'm going to really see myself as a woman who is investing in herself regularly. She's built a successful business. She makes firm decisions for herself because she knows what's right for her. I'm going to look at her from that perspective, not from that, oh, I'm too busy. Like, No, you are better than fucking that. So step out of that conversation, have a new conversation with yourself, and then approach it from that angle and see what happens.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, even what Emily said, like my business was pretty successful to begin with, but I knew that I could still learn from this retreat and grow even more.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, you guys, it was like we were learning, but it was so the way you taught the curriculum or the programs. I mean, I loved how you alternated back and forth. So it was always this new fresh energy, and it was amazing, and so many snacks. So many snacks. Healthy snacks and all the little things. It was so good. But I loved, like, so, you know, you guys covered a lot of information.
Yeah, we did.
A lot. And at the same time, you know, with the sidebar conversations, with the conversations amongst each of us, it helped integrate the information and apply it to where it's meaningful to us. And and what you shared, there was no fluff. Like, there was the fun stuff, like moments of fun and laughter and crying and all the things. But then what you were sharing was just so relevant to all of us. Even if we didn't know it going in, we realized it when we were there. And so for me, I personally really appreciate that, because I've been to things where it's just a lot of talking in circles, and I'm like, what? So when I choose something now, I really know why I'm choosing it. And if you don't know why, ask.
Yeah.
It starts with an ask.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, this has been so value packed, and for me, also for me. So I want to know, as we're kind of wrapping up, we've asked you a lot of questions, but also, is there anything that you want to make sure other women who are considering attending a retreat, whether it's the one we're offering or another one? Because, like, hear me when I say, find the right fit for you. We might not be it. Okay. Sabrina and I might not be it. We get that. But for the women who are here and thinking about it, do you have any last minute words of wisdom or anything else you want to make sure and share that maybe we didn't ask a question about, either one of you?
Well, you guys you set high standards for yourself. So going to the retreat, expect the same. You know, like I already said, the detail of everything, but the actual physical space, beautiful, the structure of the days, the joy, the laughter, the taking care of yourself, allowing for space when you need it. If you need to go somewhere and take your space, like, go. You know, there was no pressure to perform. And I think that's really important, because I think sometimes we go thinking, oh my God, I got to be on. And a lot of us, like, if you're an introvert, or if you, you need some warming up time, like, that's all okay.
Yeah. And
I think that's the caliber of women that you attract. And those women are not judging. Those women are there working through their own stuff as well. And are there to, like, kick some ass this year. Make your business more than it ever has been in your whole life. And say yes to that.
Yeah.
And just say yes. Just go. It's going to be fun. Yeah, honestly. And yeah, like, so good. You two are amazing.
And
I should just come again.
Okay. You know it's good when they say we should just. Tracy's not the only one. Kristen and Steph have both been like, oh my God, I wish I could come again. The dates don't work. Like, they just came last year and they want to come again. Oh.
And I even had a thought that, like, now after this one, like, is over for you guys, you should do like a reunion where, like, ones from the past can come and, like, be together and do, like, your own, like, you know what I mean? Like, Road Rules reunion on MTV and stuff.
Dude, I freaking love that idea.
I mean, I would
like
totally
2.0.
Yeah.
Can you see the wheels in my brain turning right now? Just from you saying, I'm literally, the wheels are like, oh my God, Yes.
That's a great idea. I was just talking to Amanda about that. Amanda's doing this river cruise thing. And I was like, how cool would that be just to get all the past retreat women to all come and just go on a cruise together? That'd be so cool.
I'd be in. I'd make sure my schedule was clear. This time
Priorities.
this time is because of my husband's birthday. We already have plans. But if it happens on my husband's birthday again, sorry, babe.
You only get one of those.
Right?
That's it. Used it up.
So funny.
Yes.
Oh, my face hurts from smiling and laughing, which is the best. It's the
Yes.
best. Oh, okay. Any last thoughts? This was so great. Thank you both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to make sure if there's any last things you want to say, that there's space to say it.
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you. But just
you very much.
if someone thinks that they don't need this retreat, you do. Like I at first I didn't think I did, and then I started to really listen to like your guys' posts, the videos and everything that you put up. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. and it really helps you grow as a person and with your business. So anyone that's listening and watching, just fucking do it. Invest in yourself and your business.
Trust the first nudge, not the second one, because the second one is fear and doubt. The first one is
The real
your soul talking to you.
Yeah.
And I love that Tracy and Kristen were both essentially like, if you have questions, ask them. Like if you have uncertainties. So Sabrina and I are actually going to do a general, just like come get your question answered, come get your questions answered call. And we're going to give you a sneak peek at the curriculum. And we're doing that on March 12th. And we'll put the link in the caption. So like in the comments, you can find the link to get signed up for that. But we know that there are probably lingering questions that we haven't thought about, that didn't get addressed here today. We want you to have all the information so you can make an informed decision. That's why we're hosting this call, so that you can come, like, see more pictures of the location we're going to be using. It is going to be a different location than last year, but similar area, but it has a bit more space, because that was one thing we learned, right? We learned stuff too. But we want you to come get your questions answered and then get a sneak peek at what we're going to be walking through. And I want you to come to that call with a lens like what was already talked about, that if you look at it and you're like, well, half of that is what I need and half of it I don't, I already got that down, you're still going to learn stuff. You can never think that you know it all in any arena. Me either.
It's like watching a movie, and the next time you watch it, you're like, wow, I didn't remember that. And then the next time you watch it, you get something else. Yeah, repetition is very important, actually.
Yeah, I had conversation I had with my ex a few times. He used to get frustrated with me because when we'd be out with people, I'd ask business owners questions that he thought I already knew the answers to. And when we got in the car, like afterwards, he'd kind of not reprimand me. He was really nice, but just kind of be like, dude, why are you asking questions? You sound like an idiot because you sound like you don't know what you're doing. Why are you asking questions to people when you already know the answer? You need to like level up. I'm like, dude, they might be doing it differently than I'm doing. I want to know the best ways to do all of the things. So I'm always a student when I'm out and about. I'm always a student. If people are asking me questions, I have no problem being a teacher, but I am always asking people, how do you do that? How are you doing that? How much does that cost? Where's that at? How do you find it? Because I want to know the best ways to do all of the things. I don't want to be left behind. And that's what atmospheres like this does. Like, yeah, you might think you know how to do it, but are you doing it the best way possible in the modern 2026? I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Yeah. And I'm telling you, the times that I have humbled myself in my area of expertise and just asked, how are you doing that? I have learned to do me and my brand better. And I believe with all of my heart that the reason that I have expanded as quickly as I have expanded is because I do not pretend like I know anything. I do not pretend like I know anything. And I always assume that somebody knows how to do things just a tad bit differently than me. I'm always open to it. And also, you have to remember, there's also things where we learned it and we're like, oh yeah, I got that. And then you forget. And then somebody says it again. You're like, dude, I meant to freaking do that and I forgot.
Yeah.
And here's your reminder to do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
All right.
good.
Yeah. All right. I love all of this. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us. This is Her Talk Show, where we talk intimately about things that are happening in business. Today we were covering, should you attend an all women's business retreat? And this is the thing, Emily brought this up. It might not be ours, right? Ours takes place April 23rd to the 26th of 2026. We might not be your jam, or the dates might not be your jam, but are you improving your business? Are you investing in your brand? Are you making sure that you are in and amongst other women entrepreneurs who are making moves? You got to be around people who are making moves. If you're staying in your own echo chamber, you are doing yourself a disservice. All right, ladies, everything has been great. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with